Welcome to SpoatsTalks. I'm Jace.
I'm Bar.
And I'm Hunter. Before we introduce ourselves, I want to thank our sponsors. Airbud. Paws Down, the best movie I have ever seen.
I feel like we can all say that same there.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Love that movie.
All right. I guess I'll go first on introducing myself.
Yep.
So I'm Hunter, and the sports I follow the NFL. My two favorite teams are the 49ers and the Carolina Panthers. I also follow the NBA, and I'm a Charlotte Hornets fan, sadly. And then I also keep up with soccer. I'm a Manchester United fan, also very sadly at the moment. And I also am a college basketball fan, and I follow the UNC Tar Heels. All right, on to you, Jace.
All right, I mostly follow the NFL. I'm a sad Colts fan. Andrew Luck was not on my side that day. I follow NCAA basketball and football. State fan on both. I also follow Purdue a little bit, but that's because it's just a habit. And I follow NHL a little bit. I'm a Blues fan. It's not because I'm a bandwagon. It's because I'm from St. Louis, so you don't hate me. All right, Bar.
And I'm Bar. I am the one who follows basically every sport imaginable. I'm NBA. I'm also sadly a very upset Hornets fan. NHL, Carolina Hurricanes fan. We're finally back. NFL, Panthers. That's gonna be a rough offseason.
Rough one.
MLB, I'm a Boston Red Sox fan. It might be kind of weird, mainly because Carolina doesn't have a MLB team. That's probably why.
Go Yankees.
Screw the Yankees. What else is there? Soccer, also a sad Man United fan, like Hunter said before.
Is that it? Are you done
yet?
I think that's it. Yeah.
Oh my god,
All
you
right.
took forever. All right, anyways. So for this first episode, I think we agreed that we're just gonna focus on the NFL and like upcoming games.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, and speaking of which, tomorrow is Thanksgiving, so happy Thanksgiving, everyone.
Happy Thanksgiving. Eat a lot of turkey
play
and
Christmas
don't die.
music during the day. I swear.
Oh, true.
All right, starting tomorrow.
We're keeping it in.
First game tomorrow is the Bears-Lions game. There's a few things going on. Mostly Mitch Trubisky or Mitch Kissintitties. Can he get on track, or can he even get going against this awful Lions defense? That is the question.
I'm predicting 2 Darius Slay pick sixes there in that game.
2 pick sixes
from just by Darius Slay alone.
Mm-hmm.
He's the only defense that that the Lions have. That's it. It's just
that
big play
Slay. That is true. All right.
I mean, we also have to mention that the Lions are playing their third string quarterback,
David Blau. Let's go.
Undrafted rookie out of Purdue. Had 69 passing touchdowns when he was in college.
So you know he's going to be a god.
So you know he's going to light this game up.
He's going to light this game up.
Boy.
I'm predicting 8 passing touchdowns for him.
Oh my goodness, man.
But back in all honesty, I really don't think Trubisky is going to be getting going against the Lions. He's had his one good game for the year. Who was that against the Bucks?
All right. Yeah.
Yeah, he has one good game a year. So
I disagree. I think the Mitchell Trubisky, he's gonna have a great game. All right. Okay, maybe not great. He's gonna have a decent game.
He's gonna have a great game for Trubisky.
Okay, we can agree with that. He'll have a good game for Trubisky, which
who
knows what that is?
That's pretty low.
It's not saying much
That's
at this
one
point.
interception.
So one, Detroit is having to start their third string quarterback. It's gonna be rough for Detroit. Detroit just has been awful. 3-7-1. What an awful team.
You have to realize that Detroit offense, if it can get going, it gets going. There's no stopping it. Once
Especially
Kenny Galladay, Marvin
is,
Jones Jr. start lighting it up, it's gonna be a long one for that Bears defense. They gotta shut down those 2 receivers.
You have to remember who's throwing to them. You know,
we have not seen him throw in the NFL yet.
Blau.
We don't know what he does. He could be the next
that's true.
Peyton Manning or Brett Favre for all we know. We don't know.
The next
We don't
Jimmy
know.
Garoppolo.
Yes, Jimmy Garoppolo. Jimmy Garoppolo.
Jimmy
Garoppolo.
All right, but so I predict Bears beat the Detroit Lions.
I also
I'm
predict
saying the
that.
same thing.
Yeah,
I'm saying the same thing. I think it's going to be really low scoring, really boring.
it'll be a
I'm honestly
defensive
saying
game.
like 14-10.
Yeah.
Bears.
14-10. Yeah, okay.
14
I
to
can see
10.
that. I can definitely see that.
Like,
I'll go.
Or this
Okay.
this is the other narrative that could happen. Detroit could tie or could pull ahead late with a field goal, right? Because Prater's actually a good kicker, and then the Bears will just double doink again.
Oh,
Cody Parkey's out of there.
It doesn't
hope not.
matter. Have you seen their new kicker? He's not much better.
Oh, yeah, that is true. Pinheiro, Pinhead.
Shouldn't have cucked Elliott Fry.
wait. So, Bard, you never said who you thought was going to win.
Oh, Bears. Yeah.
Okay.
I was
So
just
we all
saying,
agree Bears are going to win.
yeah, Bears
All
will
right,
win.
That's
Okay.
100%.
It'll be another boring Thanksgiving game, and the Bears will win.
Yep.
All right.
Let's move on. Bills Cowboys.
Ooh,
Ooh, this is an interesting game.
this
this
is
is a
a
very
very
interesting
interesting one. Well, first
My
off,
8
before we start, we have
8-3
to.
Bills, 6-5 Cowboys.
My question for the Bills is, can they be a competent team? Because if we look at their wins, they beat the Jets, they beat the Giants, they beat the Bengals, the Titans, the Dolphins twice, the Redskins, and the Broncos.
Yeah, it's not a
Okay.
lot of impressive wins there.
Those are no impressive wins.
No, not at all.
But let's look at the Cowboys win. They've beaten the Giants twice, Redskins, the Dolphins, the Lions, and then the Eagles. The Eagles are the only good team they've beaten.
That's a
Mhm.
stretch, mediocre.
And then they lost to the Jets.
Yeah, they got
They did
destroyed
lose
by
to
the Jets.
Yes.
Although
And then they also lost to the Vikings, Patriots, Packers, and Saints. But those are all pretty good teams.
Mm-hmm.
we do have
But the
to
Jets-
congratulate Frank Gore as well, passing third all time.
True.
Congratulations, Frank the Tank.
It's true.
I'm just not convinced on this Bills offense. I think
Yeah, no, not at
Josh
all.
Allen, he has
Okay.
all the talent in the world, but he's just not accurate enough. And I don't think they have the talent to keep up because Dallas is loaded. They're completely loaded with talent. They just got to get Jason Garrett out of there.
Basically, yeah. Plus, that Dallas offense, it's basically just like, they as soon as they start going, it's hard to stop them.
Mm-hmm. It is. And
I mean,
that's my question for the Cowboys. Can they turn it around after that stunner in New England? That, game of the week.
Game of the week.
Game of the week,
Yeah.
13-9 in the rain.
What was the score? 13-9.
13-9.
I'm pretty sure game of the week
Yeah.
should have gone to Panthers Saints. That was a closer one.
That was a heck of a game, let me tell you.
But we'll get to the Panthers later. I have some things to say about them. Oof.
Both of you saying Cowboys then?
I'm saying Cowboys. I'm saying they rebound. They have a lot to prove. I think
I'm
Dak
gonna
was trying
say
to get that $35 million a year.
I'm gonna say Bills in this one.
Bills.
Ooh.
I think that defense is gonna shut down Dak Prescott, and then the defense is gonna be like, come on, offense, you gotta give us something. They'll be like, all right, fine, we'll finally pull something out of the bag. We'll get one good win off on the season.
I'm gonna have to agree with Barr. I think it's gonna be a close game, and I think the Bills are gonna edge them out.
Just because that defense, man, that defense is stout.
They do have a very good defense.
It's
I will
scary.
give them that. It is scary. I just don't think their offense has the power. I think in a few years when Josh Allen is a bit more not raw.
He's a gunslinger for sure.
He is.
They just need to figure out his accuracy.
When he played the Pats, you have to remember he looked like trash.
That's very true.
And the Bills' defense compared to the Patriots, it might not be quite as good, but it still is really good. So we haven't really seen him against a good defense this year and won. All right, so this will be an interesting game. I'm predicting this will probably be the best game on Thanksgiving.
Oh, for sure. Looking at the next one.
Oh, for sure.
Looking at the next one, yeah, this will be the best one.
Saints-Falcons is the night game on Thanksgiving. What version of Falcons are we going to get? Are we going to get weeks 1 through whenever 9, when they had
it's the second worst defense behind the Dolphins,
and they went 1-7? Are we going to get the version that was in weeks 11 and 12 when they shut down 2 teams in a row, one of them being the Saints? No touchdowns allowed. And then following that is the Buccaneers. They put up 25,
No, it was the Panthers.
35 points to Jameis Winston.
That's true.
What version of Falcons are we going to get?
All right, so Saints 9-2. They've been on a tear. Falcons are 3-8. They're picking it up a little bit. They've destroyed the Saints and their Panthers, I think, in their past 3 or 4 games,
Past
and then they lost to the Bucs.
Yeah, it was a Saints destruction and Panthers destruction. Then they lost
Yeah.
the Bucs.
That's right.
If
And
I'm
then
recalling that correctly.
this is the Saints' 4th divisional game in a row, and they're
It
2-1 in their last 3 games. And I think they still got that Atlanta game on, and I feel like they're gonna get revenge, and I think they're gonna blow out the Saints. And I'm calling it. Breeze is gonna get 4 touchdowns in that game.
4
Yeah,
touchdowns.
I was about
Yeah.
to say, yeah, Saints are
But how
not
many-
going to be happy about the Falcons show up. They're like, you embarrassed us last time, and now
That's
we
true,
have the
yeah.
chance to utterly annihilate y'all and finish you off in a Thanksgiving game. Yeah, it's going to be a slaughter.
That's what I'm thinking.
Breeze is going. He's
going ham.
He's going to go nuts. And then
But
Kamara
is
will
there
pick
gonna
up
be-
when they shut down Breeze.
Yeah, but is there going to be someone other than Michael Thomas that's going to step up? Michael Thomas has been phenomenal this year. He has over
Yeah,
100 catches already.
He leads
over
the league in
1,100
receiving yards.
But he seems to be the only option that Drew Brees has at the moment. Kamara hasn't really lived up to the standard. Latavius Murray's been okay, but he can't really catch out of the backfield. So, can Traquan Smith or Ted Ginn, can they step up if they shut down Michael Thomas, which is a long shot, but anything's possible.
I definitely think Michael Thomas is gonna have a great game for sure.
He's definitely going to have a great game.
Mm-hmm.
For the other receivers on the Saints, I'm not sure about.
If Michael Thomas
definitely
isn't
think
open,
that's-
just throw to Jared Cook.
That's true too. Jared Cook is doing great as a tight end.
He is doing very good. He's been stepping it up. I drafted him in
Yeah.
fantasy. Absolute dog shit for the first 4 weeks. But he's been really stepping it up lately. Let me tell you.
Former Gamecock, baby.
So yeah, all in agreement. Saints.
Saints are going to dominate.
It's not going to be
Not even close.
Dan Quinn will be like, uh-oh.
All right, moving on. We have the Browns Steelers at 1 o'clock on Sunday, right? Yeah.
This is a big game for both.
This is a big game. Thing for the Steelers, is finally starting Devlin Hodges, Duck Hodges. Is he going to be better than Mason Rudolph?
Probably.
I'm definitely thinking he is. Mason Rudolph, he played the most uninspiring football I've ever seen.
True.
He's so inaccurate past, the line of scrimmage. He hasn't proved anything. I think the Steelers, if they're not confident in Big Ben, they're going to be drafting some next year.
Oh, for sure.
Oh yeah. I'm surprised none of you have brought this up yet. We got to talk about their previous matchup against the Browns.
Oh,
yes.
actually,
The Myles Garrett incident.
Yes. By the way,
How
have they
big-
checked and see if he has a concussion from that? Because my
I
God,
think they should just remove Mason Rudolph's head
is
at this point.
how has it not been removed?
It's getting trashed.
Yeah.
They need
But
to be like, okay, buddy, you're gonna sit down. take a breather.
the
Just take a
Browns
breather.
won that game 21-7,
Yeah, it
and then
was-
the Myles Garrett incident happened.
Mm-hmm.
And so, even with Juju and James Conner being questionable for this game, and Cleveland has won 3 games in a row, I see the Steelers winning in a very close game in this situation.
However, Pittsburgh's last game, excuse me, Pittsburgh's last game against the Bengals, a lot went wrong there, and they barely pulled it
yeah.
out 16-10. When you can barely pull it off against the Bengals, something's not right.
But
So
remember, that was most of that was with Mason Rudolph. They're starting Duck Hodges, and he seemed to spark a little bit into that offense and
That
pulled
is
off
true.
the win. So, can the Browns keep this momentum going? Because they had a whole bunch of hype going into the season.
It's true.
They fell to 2-6, but they've won 3 in a row now against pretty awful competition.
Yeah.
But can they keep this momentum going? Have they found something, or is this just because of their easy schedule? What do you
Well,
guys
they
think?
also, with Myles Garrett out for the season, how is that defense going to look now?
Mhm.
Against a decent team in the Steelers.
That is true. That is true. All right, I'm saying the Browns are going to pull out a tight one off
Okay.
last second Duck Hodges interception or fumble, something like that on their final drive. It's going to be something slow and boring, 13-17. Duck Hodges is going to take the ball. He's going to get stripped, or he's going to throw an interception in the last drive.
Yeah, I'm saying the Browns are gonna pull out a close one as well.
I definitely could see it going either way. I think it's going to be a close
yeah.
but I see the Steelers winning this. So.
Mm-hmm.
Just for that revenge against Myles Garrett, you know.
Yeah.
It can definitely
They're
go
gonna
either
have
way.
extra
It is
motivation.
a coin flip game.
Yeah.
But you know, the Browns are also going to have a lot of motivation because if they go to 6-6, they're right in the middle of that playoff hunt.
Exactly.
That's true too.
They're still trying to prove the hype was not fake.
Mm-hmm.
Even though it was.
It kind of was. Although recently they've been stepping it up, but it kind of.
They have been.
But I think that's blaming on coaching too. Like Freddie Kitchens.
Yeah. Freddie Kitchens is not a good coach. He should go work at Popeyes.
He should be in the kitchen.
Oh.
All right, next game, Packers-Giants.
Oh, we don't even need to talk this one. Packers all the way.
Packers all the way. But, you know, 2 out of 3 weeks against Los Angeles and then against San Francisco, their offense looked awful.
True.
That is true.
I mean,
San
they were
Francisco
playing the best defense
them.
in San Francisco.
They are a very good defense. But are they going to be rebounding against the Giants? I definitely think they are. One of the worst defenses in the NFL.
True.
I really think that Aaron Rodgers is going to have a vintage Aaron Rodgers game. He's going to have that chip on his shoulder. He's going to throw for like 3 or 4 touchdowns in a blowout victory.
Oh, yeah. The bad man's coming out for this game.
Definitely.
I disagree. I think it's going to be a close game. I still think the Packers are going to win. But the Giants are on a four losing streak. 3 of these 4 losses, though, have been less than or equal to 7. So I think the Giants...
That's true, yeah.
They've gotten definitely unlucky, or like, you know, they can like hold on to a little bit, but I think they slip near the end of the game.
Well, that's because Daniel Jones can't hold the football.
True.
He has, 10 lost fumbles?
Where is Saquon?
Where is Saquon at?
Where is Saquon? He has
2 touchdowns on the year.
That is really hurting the Giants right now. I think they wouldn't be on this losing streak if Saquon was producing after his ankle injury. Is he fully recovered? I don't think so. I think he would probably rush back.
Yeah.
But, you know, where is he at? Someone of his talent.
He only has 1 touchdown since his injury.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, it was a receiving touchdown.
Although, good news for the Giants, Sterling Shepard returned last week, and he is playing again this week. His concussion has decided to finally go away.
Finally.
But
all right,
for sure, Packers win that game.
Yeah, Packers are gonna win.
Yeah,
it's gonna be a blowout. I think in the Packers' favor, but if Saquon gets going, I think it could be a little closer.
Yeah, it all depends on Saquon. To be honest,
it all depends on Saquon. All right, moving on. Eagles Dolphins.
I wonder.
The thing for the Eagles this year is Wentz has looked awful.
Yeah, I was about to say, I do not want to write off Miami in this game because, to be honest, I could see them winning it. It's possible.
Could too. Because is it Wentz himself, or is it the situation, all the injuries and the offensive play calling? That's what's slowing Wentz down, or is it just because he's just having an off year, or is he got that money and now he doesn't have to try?
Yeah, now he knows that his Foles is gone, his starting job is safe for at least the rest of this year.
Probably next year.
And, the Dolphins have a little bit of momentum going, even though they've lost some. Ryan Fitzpatrick, I think he provides a spark and a little bit of swagger to the offense.
You gotta love
Ryan
with his
gotta love him.
With his throw it downfield and see what happens mentality. I'm predicting this is going to be a very low-scoring sleeper game. The Eagles' offense hasn't looked good, but their defense has been stepping up. And Miami's offense, I just don't think has the talent to overcome the Eagles' defense at its point right now.
No, it does not. Their
but
best
I'm still thinking
receivers,
the Eagles are going
Devontae Parker.
Yeah,
they're not going to be able to overcome them.
No. I'm thinking Eagles going to win, but it's going to be a very low-scoring game, a very boring game.
Yes.
I think the Eagles are going to win. I don't think it's necessarily going to be a low-scoring game, just because even if the Eagles, their offense hasn't been great, but Dolphins are the perfect team to start up that offense against, they have players like Xavier Howard. Like, who else is on that defense?
Xavier Howard.
Exactly.
Yeah,
So it's
Xavier
like,
Howard. Yeah, it's all Xavier Howard. To be honest, why didn't the Dolphins trade Xavier Howard rather than trading Minkah Fitzpatrick? That just doesn't make any sense to me.
true, but I mean, I definitely think the Eagles are gonna win. I don't think it's gonna be a close game. So a decent size victory for the Eagles is my opinion.
All right. This is going to be a boring game. Buccaneers, Jaguars.
Two teams
Next
that are
game on the
basically
schedule.
out of the playoff hunt at this time.
Yeah,
Both of them
these
are
teams,
just battling for pride.
Mhm.
4-7 versus 4-7.
Here's what I'm thinking. The Jaguars are a small market team. They have Nick Foles. He gets injured, but they put in Minshew, and he brings this swagger to the team. Minshew mania. And he has one bad start. And then put Foles back in. And Foles has lost 2 or 3 in a row now, right?
Foles hasn't won a game on the Jaguars.
He hasn't won.
Nope.
So
not even before he got injured. He didn't.
So are we going to see Gardner Minshew again this season?
Are we going to see the man who was offered a porn contract?
I don't think we're gonna see Minshew. At least this week, maybe like closer to the end.
Honestly, I don't see him coming back the rest of this year, to be honest.
I'm thinking if Foles, even if he doesn't play bad, if they lose to the Bucs, I think they're going to put Minshew back in just to see what they have in him. Like, yes, they gave Foles all that money, but Minshew has played better than Foles this year.
True.
Very true.
And what version of Jameis Winston are we going to get this week? Are we going to get
turnover bakery
Jameis Winston? Are we going to get the 4 touchdown Jameis
or
Winston?
Or both, because that
happens a lot. That's
week.
like the main one, actually. It's like 3-4 touchdowns to like 5 picks and 400 passing yards.
Because
how he
has
rolls.
20 passing touchdowns and 20 interceptions on this.
That's impressive, honestly.
That is very impressive.
I mean, that's what Jameis Winston does. Throws touchdowns.
He throws touchdowns and touchdowns to the other team.
Exactly.
He's got the receivers to do it. Mike Evans and Chris Godwin.
Both of which are the top 3 receiving yards this year.
Mm-hmm. And where's O.J. Howard?
He
disappeared off the face of the planet.
He made a great catch during the Rays playoff game, but since then, that's been the best catch all year, and it wasn't even on a football field.
That's been his highlight.
It wasn't even on a football field.
I don't know if it's a scheme with Bruce Arians or if he's just been ineffective or what. I don't know what's going on there, but they need to get him involved because he's a supremely talented tight end.
So what are your guys' predictions for the?
I'm saying the Bucs are going to win this.
Yeah, it's going to be the Bucs.
It's going to be a
just because
high scoring.
Even
game.
though Winston's going to throw like 3 picks this game. But then again, he's going to throw like 4 touchdowns. But so can the offense of which the Jacksonville offense has been lacking recently.
Sure.
Like it has not been anywhere seen. So just that since he has the ability to throw 4 touchdowns, I don't think that the Jags offense can match the offensive capabilities of the Bucs, and that's really going to hurt them. So
it definitely is, even against that Buccaneers defense.
Which is atrocious.
I don't think that they don't have the firepower.
Yeah,
I mean,
like they're just going to get out gunslinged.
The Bucs have won 2 of their last 3 games. They beat the Falcons, and the Cardinals, and the Falcons can be good or bad depending on the day.
It depends on how they're feeling.
The Cardinals, also
they're trending in the right direction.
They're a scary team. Yeah, they can't.
They've done well against.
They nearly
the
beat the
49ers.
49ers. Yeah, they nearly beat the 49ers.
Twice.
And so Cardinals definitely showing up now, and the fact that the Bucs beat them and the Falcons, I see the Bucs winning this game.
Yeah, the Bucs. I think the Bucs are going to win it.
All right, and the matchup we've all been waiting for.
This is game of the week.
Jets Bengals.
Oh, you just skipped over
Jets Bengals.
What about Oh, never mind. I'm looking at a different schedule.
Good job.
Well, I mean, they're all at 1 o'clock, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So Jets Bengals.
Will the
The Jets have
Bengals
scored
finally win
34
a game?
points 3 weeks in a row. Can they keep this up?
Yes. Yeah.
Yes?
I think they can. They just destroyed Oakland. Oakland's
They
been
did.
pretty decent recently.
Mhm.
Yeah, they're in the playoff hunt.
34-3, exactly. And then, I think the whole thing with switching quarterbacks for the Bengals back and forth, I think that's going to kind of mess things up. And so I think the Jets
Yeah.
are going to outright destroy the Bengals this week.
I think so.
To be honest,
And
yeah, Bengals just cannot. It doesn't
they
make any
cannot play.
sense why they're the team that's 0. If you think about a team that should be 0-10, it's the Dolphins. Why is
It
the
should be.
Bengals 0-11? It makes
The Bengals
no
have talent.
sense. It's like we're looking at the 2008 Detroit Lions again.
It is.
This is
It
the
is.
2008 Detroit Lions, except now it's the 2019 Bengals. Talent on the offense and defense just can't win a goddamn game.
It can't. It can't.
But yeah, Jets are gonna run away with this one.
But Jets are going to blow out the Bengals. That's what I'm predicting. But Will Dalton putting him back in after seeing, unfortunately, how bad Ryan Finley is.
Yeah.
They
Can
should
he
never
spark-
have put him in.
Can he spark a win at some point to avoid being in the perfect club?
If the Red Rifles spark a win, is the team to do it against.
It is this
That's
team.
true.
This team, they had the Sam Darnold. I'm seeing ghosts. 7
true.
picks in 2 weeks, and he's really turned the corner. And I don't see that ending this week. But if it will to end, Dalton, I think, can spark a win.
And the
Seal
next
this game.
question is Zach Taylor a one done?
I think he is.
I do too. Like, woof. If I was the owner of the Bengals, I'd be like, man, I could have put in a 5-year-old and won a game. Like, what are you
Honestly.
doing?
Exactly. When your team goes
Because-
0-11, you can't keep the coach.
No.
No, even though the Browns did it.
True.
I mean, AJ Green is out, right?
Yes.
And their offensive line is awful.
But they still have Tyler
talent
Boyd.
on that team. They have
Yeah.
Tyler Boyd, Tyler Eifert.
Two
On the
Tylers.
defense, they have Geno Atkins, Carl Lawson. They have talent on this team, so I don't
Sean
know
Williams, he's been pretty good.
what's going
safety.
on. Jesse Bates, they have all this talent on this team. I don't know what's going on. I think it's coming down to coaching.
It has to be.
He's over the past 3 weeks. I really thought Freddie Kitchens was the worst coach in the league the first 8 weeks, but
Boy, were we wrong.
boy, it's Zach Taylor.
Boy, were we wrong.
The Bengals owner is lazy.
Yeah, he
True.
ain't gonna
He
fire.
might not fire him just
It
because
took him
he forgot.
14 years to get rid of a man who's never won a playoff game.
Exactly.
He ain't going nowhere.
He might just forget to fire Zach Lewis.
He'd be like, all
But
right,
I
I'm gonna
think-
write it down. Karen, don't let me forget. All right, boss, we'll do. Hey, you're supposed to fire the coach. Ah, screw it. Whatever. He can stay another year. He'll be fine.
Yeah.
Ooh, looks like that fan ain't coming off that building anytime soon. Am I right, fellas? He might get some food up there. He might be starving to death.
All right, next game we have the Deadskins and the Panthers.
Panthers runaway victory.
Yeah,
I'm not so
So-
sure about that. Dwayne Haskins just got his first career win and then left the
Hey.
field to go take selfies with fans.
Yep, he did.
that's my critical question to the Redskins. Will he continue to look like absolute trash?
Well, it's not his
'Cause
fault.
every time they put
to
him
be
in there-
honest.
He has very little help. Terry McLaurin's good, but outside of that, he doesn't
Like,
really have anything.
What
But
the Redskins,
some of his talent should be playing at least a little better, showing a little bit of something.
but Jace,
I just don't see that.
what the Redskins are doing to him are basically what the Browns did to Tim Couch. He has
Mm-hmm.
talent. He has no coaching to back him up because they fired Jake Gruden earlier in the year. He has no receivers except for like 2 that are mediocre, and Kelvin Harmon hasn't really done anything yet. He'll probably break out later next year.
I'm hoping so.
His offensive line is dog trash because Trent Williams they decided to piss off their best player, so why would he
Mhm.
be there? Their defense is atrocious except for Ryan Kerrigan and I guess Josh Norman. How's he doing this year? Is he doing good?
Josh,
I think they're benching him. I think they're benching
Oh,
him
well,
next.
that answers that question. So it's not exactly his fault that he's doing this bad because he can't. When you have 0.3 seconds to throw a ball before you get sacked, you're not gonna do too hot.
That's true, but that's what he did in college. If you look at his college game tape, it was mostly drag routes, Paris Campbell and Terry McLaurin. So
That's
he should
true.
be used to throwing the ball short and quick.
That's true. But
And for the Panthers, they have their short, undrafted white QB, Kyle Allen.
I've got a
who isn't trustworthy in my opinion
as a Panthers fan. Yeah,
what version are we going to get?
If the Panthers lose this game, there will be axes held in the front office. Ron Rivera he's on the hot seat right now, man. He's
been on the hot seat for a while.
Yeah, he's on the hot seat. Now, you can't, unfortunately, we've been riddled with injuries this year. Like, riddled. But, on the good news side of news, this actually surprised me. Before we came in, I was looking at receiving yards and, like, who leads. Number 5, currently, only 50 yards behind Julio Jones, is DJ Moore.
DJ Moore has been very good this year.
He has 900 receiving yards.
He had a great game last week.
Yeah, 126 yards and 2 touchdowns.
Yeah.
So the Panthers, they'll make a showing of the Redskins. Be like, we're not losing to these guys. We can't.
Yeah, no, they're gonna kill the Deadskins.
The Panthers they're on a 3-game losing streak. They desperately need a win.
Yeah, and plus all 3 of those loses, well, except for the Falcons one, but we don't talk about that. The other 2, the Packers and the Saints, were very close, and ones that they should have won within the last
Kyle Allen looked very good in those games.
Yeah.
They should have won both of those games.
Against the Falcons, terrible.
The Packers
he did look bad.
And the Saints handed the Panthers the win, but they just could not take it. They kept tripping over their own selves as well. So I think even with the new kicker, maybe after the Panthers signed that kicker, maybe Sly will be like, okay, I gotta, actually get it through the uprights now for I lose my job.
He's got power. He doesn't have accuracy.
Not at all. Poor man. I wish Graham Gano was here.
I mean, I agree though. Panthers, they need a win, and I think they're bound after that 3-game losing streak. So
yeah, they gotta get the win.
Yeah.
All right, moving on to the 4:05 slot. 30 slot. I don't know when these games start, but after the 1 o'clock games, I think this game is going to be flexed to the 8:30 on Sunday night. But we have the Ravens and 49ers.
Game of the season, possibly.
Game of the season. Game of the season, definitely.
Yeah, we're seeing 2 of the best teams here.
This could be
off.
a potential Super Bowl matchup.
We have potential MVP Jimmy Garoppolo going
against another potential MVP, Lamar Jackson.
Yes. But both of these teams are doing great. 10-1 and 9-2, probably the 2 best teams in their conference.
And nobody's expected either one of these teams to be in the position that they're currently in.
Exactly.
I thought the Ravens were going to suck this year because
I
was
not
be
mediocre.
This Lamar Jackson growth.
I thought the 49ers were going to be decent, but I didn't think they'd be, one of the best, if not the best team in the league. Like, and then everybody, they have the 49ers played by real. Well, they just blew out the Packers, so I think that answers that question.
Yeah, exactly. Both of these teams just blew out an opponent. 37-8, 49ers beat the Packers, and the Ravens just beat the Rams 45-6.
And the Rams are a decent team. Like,
yeah,
I don't know what's going on with them this year, but they're decent.
They are. I'm not exactly sure what's going on.
Plus, Marcus Peters is just having a revengeful year. He has been going off on that defense.
So honestly, it comes down to whether or not, this is my opinion, whether or not the 49ers defense can hold Lamar Jackson.
Yeah, can Nick Bosa just sack the crap out of him?
And I think they can, and that's why I'm going to pick the 49ers to Ravens. A very close game.
This is a really tough one to pick.
Games this year, these big hype games, they haven't really come to fruition. Like, they've all been kind of boring. But I'm not seeing that in this game. I'm thinking it's going to be a high-scoring shootout. going into overtime, and I think the Ravens are going to steal this one in overtime.
I think that the 49ers, after the absolute massacre that they pulled on the Packers, I think they're
Mhm.
going to be like, okay, we need to back this up again. Keep proving ourselves. They still have that chip on their shoulder.
Exactly.
I think it'll be a close one, but I think they're going to pull out the win against the Ravens.
Okay. All right, moving on. Colts Titans.
This is a big game.
This is a big game.
This
Big,
is a
divisional
huge game. This could be potential AFC winner game, AFC South winner. Because I mean, the Texans are 7-4, so these two teams are 6-5. They're battling for a playoff spot. Tannehill, is he Tana for real? I stole a sales joke there.
what happened there? I think he moves on from Miami, comes to Tennessee. He's like, I don't give a fuck anymore. I'm just gonna throw it and see what happens.
He has 2 passing touchdowns and then 2 rushing touchdowns.
I think this new mentality he has in Tennessee, I really think it's really opened the door. It's really showing the talent that had him as a top 10 pick. I think if I were the Titans, I would sign him to a deal.
Yeah.
I would sign him to like a 2 to 3 year deal. Don't get yourself into like a long bind just in case this turns out to be like a fluke. But
True.
I mean, he's been playing better than Mariota has in his career
definitely.
in Tennessee. So
I think they've found a Alex Smith-esque quarterback in Ryan Tannehill. I think they're really reviving his career.
I can see that.
where he had that because he's always had. We've seen his talent in Miami. We've always known this guy could be elite or could be very good. It's just that I think because of Miami's circumstances, they haven't really had the best coaching in his career, and he hasn't really had the best offensive weapons in his career either. That now that he's changed his scenery, he's like, okay, let's see what I can do here, and he got his opportunity, took it. And he's still taking it.
Okay, moving on to the Colts. I have very serious concerns with these Colts. They win some good games. They can stay in a game with anyone. They play up to the competition, yet they play down
lost
to the
Dolphins.
They lost.
Brissett wasn't starting though. Brian Hoyer.
We had Brian Hoyer in.
True.
The Colts. They're a high ceiling, low. Hold on. They're a high floor, low ceiling kind of team. Jacoby Brissett. He's been very good this year.
Oh
but
my
he hasn't
gosh.
been phenomenal.
Yeah, at the beginning of the year, he was on pace to throw like 30 plus touchdowns or like 40.
The defense has been good, not great. The offense has been good, not great. Marlon Mack is out. We have Jonathan Williams in his place. He's been doing well, but he isn't as talented as Mack.
T.Y. Hilton decided to put grease on his hands last week.
He did.
So, I mean.
So the question is, are the Colts destined for like an 8-8, 9-7?
They are. They for sure are. I think they're gonna win these next 2. I do think they're gonna beat the Titans. I think they're gonna win these next 2 games and lose their last 3, and they're gonna finish 8-8.
Honestly, that'd be the most Colts thing ever.
Yeah.
I've been watching some games on them. I watched highlights. I watched a full game against the Texans, and I just don't see a playoff contender when I'm watching them.
Yeah, for sure.
I think Jacoby Brissett's good, but I don't think he has the talent to take the Colts over the hump.
Yeah, agreed. Bar, what do you think?
The Colts are a tough team to predict. They might pull it off and get to a playoff spot. In my opinion, they'll pull off a 9-7 season. Maybe sneak into the wild card. Depends on the rest of the AFC. Brissett has been extremely improved this year. Like when we first saw him take over for Andrew Luck when he got injured, 2 years ago, and they benched him for the whole year. Okay, he didn't win a lot, but he did show potential. And then this year, after the shocking news of Andrew Luck's retirement, he's really run away with it, being like, yeah, I can be this dude that helps us win. So I think they'll get 9-7. I think they'll sneak into the wild card, probably lose in the first round.
Mm-hmm.
That's probably the Colts.
I could see
Yeah.
that.
All right, moving on. Rams Cardinals. Looking at my notes right here, and what the fuck, Rams? What is going on?
True.
What is going on? What is going on?
Goes from the best offense we have seen in years to just absolute flatline.
I mean,
It's just stale on both sides of the ball.
and then they picked up Jalen Ramsey, and what has that done?
I know, and they're not playing Gurley. I guess they have concerns about his knee. But he's your best player on offense. You need to get him more involved. They had him more involved in their last win, and they won. You know, Goff hasn't looked good this year, but they had Gurley involved, and their offense was actually doing something.
True.
They didn't have Gurley involved against the Ravens, and their offense did nothing. The Ravens are a much better team than the Rams. I think the Rams are too top heavy. But, you know, just what's going on? What's going on? What's with all this regression?
I mean, talking about running backs that aren't getting any playing time, David Johnson for the Arizona Cardinals, he got injured a couple weeks ago, and he has barely played a snap.
That's true. That's true.
They traded for Kenyon Drake, and Kenyon Drake just has taken over the starting job.
Mm-hmm.
And the Cardinals, you know, I think they lost their last 3 games or something like that. And then, you know, they were kind of close with the 2 games against San Francisco, and then they're close against the Bucks as well.
Mm-hmm.
But the Rams' offense just is not looking good.
The Rams are not looking good. I don't think they're going to make the playoffs this year.
Oh, for sure, no.
And the Cardinals, they have a bad record, but they look really good. So I think they're learning how to win. They're a young team.
True.
Kyler Murray's already a top 10 quarterback. Just looking at the way he plays, he is poised. He's making all the throws. I think next year the Cardinals could be a contender.
Whoa, next
for the
year?
playoffs.
That's jumping a little quick.
Yeah. You got to think about what division they're in. They're with the San Francisco 49ers.
That's true.
The Seahawks, who are
Rams.
always good.
Yeah, and the Rams.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so
I really don't think the Rams are going to be good for the next 3 or 4 years.
True.
And the Seahawks, you never know.
They're always
they're going to do good under Pete Carroll.
They're always good. Like,
they're always going to be good.
This year was the year that everybody was like, okay, now we'll see the Seahawks kind of regress because, half the defense is gone.
Mm-hmm.
Some of the offense is gone, But nope, they are just winning.
But I think the Cardinals next year, they could honestly go 9-7, 10-6. They could make some serious improvement. Even if they don't make the playoffs, I think they can contend for a spot next year.
I think it's going to take more than 1 year. I think they need to protect Kyler Murray, get some O-line down there, draft some O-line up in the offseason, trade for someone, whatever. But you got to protect Kyler Murray. He's definitely going to be a franchise quarterback.
Oh, for sure, for sure.
So, honestly, I think the big thing for that is helping him improve and become, as you said, he was a top 10 quarterback now, but top 5, top 3, as best as he can get.
Mm-hmm.
And you got to protect him so he doesn't get a serious injury.
Yeah, that's true. He's a smaller body. He looks tiny out there playing.
Oh, he does.
You just have to keep him safe.
Also, will Larry Legend return next year, or is this his last year?
I honestly have no idea. I have no idea.
I thought he was retiring last year.
I thought he was going to retire like 5 years ago.
Yeah.
I definitely saw him retiring last year because, the age of the Cardinals going to the playoffs was over.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And now he's in a rebuild again, which he's used to. But nope, he came back and still trucking along. To be honest, I feel like he's just going to keep going until he just passes Jerry Rice at this point. Like,
He
yeah,
just wants the record.
He's gonna be like 55 running out there.
has 21,000 receiving yards.
All right, I think the Cardinals are gonna win this week.
I
I
do
think
too. I think they'll pull
they're
it off.
looking better than the Rams at this point. They
They
haven't won
really
a lot of
are.
games, but they've been close games. The
Mhm.
Rams just look awful.
I
Plus,
think the Rams are gonna have a bounce back. I think they're gonna win this week. Jared Goff has not been playing well, but that's no surprise. But Arizona, they don't have that good of a passing defense, so I think Jared Goff could have a good week. I think I see the Rams winning this week.
All right. Cool. All right, moving on. Chargers Broncos. Big question in Broncos country is: are we going to see Drew Lock this week? There are reports coming out of training camp. He's been taking increased reps with the first team. Brandon Allen looks like an Allen.
Yeah.
yep.
So, are they going to see what they have in Drew Lock? Potentially draft someone else in the draft next year.
Oh, they're definitely okay. If Drew Lock, if he comes out right, and he does atrocious, I think after one game they'll be like, okay, we're getting someone else.
Mm-hmm.
Because they're on pace to set a franchise record for most losses in a year. Like the
Mhm.
Broncos have never, and I really do mean this, never been this bad.
They have not. No.
So it's unfortunately they lost Chubb earlier in the year due to an ACL tear. That probably has not helped at all. Von Miller is only one man, and he's a linebacker that blitzes. It's like
Honestly,
he's basically a
their
defensive man.
defense is doing great. They have a great defense, rushing and passing defense. It's just that offense that needs
That's
improvement.
true, yeah.
The offense looks awful.
And
I
after
think
trading their best receiver, it probably didn't help.
True.
definitely not. Definitely not.
And though Noah Fant has not, I mean, he's been okay this year.
Mm-hmm.
He hasn't been, the next Gronkowski or anything, but he's been okay. But
You have to remember, tight ends usually never look good in their first year. You have
that's
to give
true.
them
That's true.
at least to the second or third year to kind of get to grips with the game,
Yeah.
right? So jury's still out on Noah Fant. I think he has all the talent. He's fast. He can be the next Vernon Davis.
Is Vernon Davis still playing? By the way, I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure he is.
Is he on the Redskins?
Is he on the Redskins, the Broncos? It's like the two teams he's ever on.
I'm not too sure.
Yeah, he plays for the Redskins still.
Wow.
Thank you, Google. All right, and moving on to the Chargers. What's going on, Rivers? What's going on?
7 interceptions in his last 2 games.
Mm-hmm.
Both of them were game-sealing interceptions
Yeah.
too, or the last ones were.
To me, it just looks like he's kind of checked out. It's on the last year of his deal.
I
He's
think
just kind of chucking it up there.
he needs to get out of San Diego. Or not,
He does.
San Diego, my bad.
You mean
He needs to get
LA.
out of LA.
And that small soccer field he's playing on?
Yep, that's below regulation size of the NFL stadiums. But yeah, he still has that gunslinger in him,
Mm-hmm.
where he's like, I'm just gonna zip this into there. It's not really been working out so well, but
he's so accurate.
he is extremely.
Over the past few weeks, he's just not looked good.
I don't think he's retiring yet after this year. I think he's been like, no, I can't go out like this. I gotta go out with a good season, a good touchdown to interception ratio.
Not 1-to-1.
Yeah, not 1-to-1 or even 1-to-2. But yeah, I think that Chargers, they have a habit of screwing over their franchise players in their later years. So Rivers is probably gone. He's gone.
True.
I think he's fed up with the Spanos family.
Yeah, after
this move to LA.
First at LT, then Antonio Gates, he's like, all right, next is
Yeah.
me. Like, I'm next.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's
I mean,
gonna
at the
leave.
beginning of the season, I completely expected the Chargers to have, be a playoff team.
12-4. Yeah, I was like 12-4.
I
Here we go.
expected Keenan Allen to be one of the best wide receivers in the league this season.
And they've just been disappointment.
He has the talent, but they're just not getting it done.
No,
They're not.
and I don't want to say it comes down to coaching because personally, I think Anthony Lynn is one of the better coaches in the league.
He's an amazing coach.
He's awesome. So I really, really, really have no idea what maybe the offensive line. I really don't know. Like
The offensive line, yeah, is very fun. I think is it the worst this year or second worst to the
definitely
Dolphins?
up there. But then again, the Chargers have never. When was the last time the
They've
Chargers
never had a good
line?
line.
True.
It's been a very long time.
You watch Rivers out there. He's getting.
He can't run. He can't.
He can't run.
He cannot.
He can't run.
Have you seen that man try to sprint 10 yards for a first down? He goes it takes 4 steps for 3 yards.
Yeah,
True.
He is one of the slowest guys out there.
And their tackles are awful. You just see the edge rushers. It's just
honestly, the only thing that's working for them is Melvin Gordon and Austin Eckler.
Yeah,
in my opinion.
Austin Eckler and
but not even Melvin Gordon.
Yeah, Melvin Gordon has improved. Melvin Gordon has definitely improved,
but it's
since he's come
mainly
back.
Austin Eckler. Oh my gosh, Austin Eckler has been fantastic.
He does not deserve to be a backup running back.
No, not at all.
Definitely not.
I think
he's the best backup in the league.
Whenever his contract ends, the Chargers, he's going to be like, all right, I'm a starter. Yeah. Someone pay me starting money, or at least minimum starting money. Mm-hmm. Get me out of here.
I think a good fit for him if I don't think the Chargers are willing to part with him because of Melvin. I think Melvin Gordon is gone next year.
True.
But I think a good fit for Austin Eckler if he was traded at the trade deadline would have been the Buccaneers.
Honestly, yeah, they need a running back.
He's
Barber's
good for check
decent,
downs,
but he's not.
Ronald Jones has not lived up to his second round.
No.
Yeah.
And he's an amazing receiver. He's slippery. He could be part-time for half a year and then take over the reins.
He's like a discount Christian McCaffrey.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But I think Rivers, he's gone. He's
gone.
He's going to go, I don't know. Looking at teams that need quarterbacks, maybe he'll go to the Bills and teach Allen how to become a gunslinger that's accurate. Considering Rivers is actually really accurate. Maybe he'll take a mentoring role, or maybe he'll be like, nah, I'm going somewhere that needs someone to get him over the hump.
Mm-hmm.
The only team I can think of that needs a quarterback like that is maybe I don't know, actually.
I'm sure he'll find something somewhere.
Yeah, that somebody will pay the man. At the end of the day, someone's going to pay him.
Mm-hmm. And that means all the 9 Charger fans are going to become 0 Charger fans.
Exactly.
Yep, that's it. They're about to, except for the Keenan Allen fans, the 2 of them.
Yeah.
And the
RIP Chargers.
But in their previous matchup, Denver won 20-13, and I see Denver winning again this time.
I see Chargers pulling this one.
Yeah, I'm seeing Rivers gonna have a chip on his shoulder. People are criticizing him for.
He's like, all right, instead of 7 interceptions, it's 7 touchdowns. Here we go.
Yeah, he's gonna have a bounce back game. He's gonna kill the Broncos.
He's gonna light it up.
All right, 2 games left. Sunday night, Raiders Chiefs. Are the Raiders a playoff team?
That's a tough one.
Yeah,
they're borderline.
Mm-hmm.
They look good some weeks, and then they have a week against the Jets. Nothing going.
Yeah.
30-43. Mike Lennon. It's a bad day when you have to play Mike Lennon.
Another NC State quarterback on the show. I'm pretty sure we have covered every single NC State quarterback now.
Probably.
Russell Wilson, Mike Glennon, who I call Giraffe Neck, Rivers and Finley, and all of them except Wilson have been talked in a bad way.
Yeah.
It has not been a good time for NC State quarterbacks.
Mhm.
Oh, Brissett. I mean, actually, he's doing good, so it's going well.
I think there's a huge clump of just slightly above mediocre AFC teams. You have the Colts, you have the Raiders, you have the Chargers if they start winning again.
Yeah, the Titans are
There's all
time.
these teams, the Titans, all these teams just in a clump for the 6th seed.
Yeah, it's just a race for who can be more mediocre and who can be less mediocre.
And whoever gets the 6th seed is gonna lose.
Yeah.
Because there's 2 tiers you have in the AFC. You have the good
Yeah,
teams,
the
and then
big
you have
boys and
everyone else,
the
and then you have the
mediocres.
trash. And
Yeah.
the Raiders fall in that mid tier. I think they're gonna get lucky with all the other mediocre teams around them and get a playoff spot. They're a slightly better team. I think John Gruden has something good going over there for Vegas.
Yeah, what in the world happened?
Oh.
Well, last year, right, the Raiders are a complete dysfunctional mess. At the beginning of the year, they're still a complete, Antonio Brown situation.
Oh my God! Don't even.
Everything is just going wrong for him, and then all of a sudden, you're looking at a potential playoff team. Like, what happened between? Is Gruden actually a mastermind? Like, was he just toying with us this whole time?
I don't think he is a mastermind. They won 3 of their last 4 games. The one they lost 34-3 to the Jets, an awful team they lost to. The other 3 teams they played were the Lions, bad, Chargers, bad, and the Bengals, the worst team in the NFL.
That's true.
That's true. That's an interesting point.
But the
I think
point
they're just
is,
getting lucky with their schedule.
There's still a playoff team potential.
Because of their schedule.
At the beginning of this year, I wrote off the Raiders. I was like, this team is going like 4-12. They are not winning many games.
That's what I was thinking.
Like, even with them having an easier schedule, they still technically at the beginning of the year were considered
an awful team,
an easy win for any team that played them.
That's true.
So you got to give them some credit.
Oh, I'll give them some credit, and even I'm surprised they're 6-5 after the whole Antonio Brown situation. I'm surprised they were able to just look past that almost.
And
I thought there was going to be a lot of fallout.
Not only Antonio Brown, they also have Fontes Perfect. He tried to kill another man, so that ended him. And they signed Richie Incognito, which somehow has not turned into a bad thing yet.
He's been a very good guard this year.
Well, he always has been a good guard. It's just been his, head that's in the wrong places.
That's true. I really thought they were going to sign him, and he was just going to
kill the entire locker room.
He was just going to suck.
Yeah.
But he's been very good this year, and I think there hasn't been any drama with him I haven't heard.
Which is incredible.
He's kept his head on straight.
Which is incredible. I'm glad about that, too, because he has so much talent.
Yeah, but not as much talent as the Chiefs.
Oh,
That's
boy.
true.
Yeah, the Chiefs are going to win this game, in my opinion, though. Yeah.
If the Chiefs get hot, they can beat anyone.
Exactly. In their previous matchup against the Raiders, Mahomes threw for over 400 yards, and he threw 4 touchdowns.
Oh.
It was 28-10.
Oh, boy.
And most of that was in the second quarter.
Yeah. And for that reason, Chiefs are going to win this game, in my opinion.
Chiefs are going to win easily.
Yeah.
I think the Chiefs are going to win. They're like, all right, guys, we got to buckle down. Playoffs are coming up. We got to get ready. That defense, though, is still questionable.
True.
What's his name from? They got him from the Seahawks. Sorry, my mind's blanking. They traded for him.
Frank Clark.
Frank Clark. Is he good or not? Like, some weeks he's on fire. Other weeks he disappears. It makes no sense.
And the thing, Justin Houston's also been really good. So instead of having Justin Houston in D4, they have Frank Clark and not a first-round pick.
Yeah,
not the best move.
Questionable moves on defense. Have they worked out? It depends. But yeah, I still see the Chiefs win this game.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, moving on. Last game, Sunday night.
No, we have 2 more.
2 more.
What?
Yeah.
Which one?
Pats, Texans, Vikings, Seahawks.
Oh, I didn't do Vikings, Seahawks.
Oh, we'll just free ball that one then.
Yeah.
That's gonna be an interesting game.
Pats, Vikings, Seahawks.
So Pats and Texans are first.
Yeah.
Pats are gonna win.
Okay.
For sure. That O-line's not going to be able to protect Deshaun Watson
And
against the Patriots.
Stephon Gilmore is, in my opinion, the best corner in the league this year.
Agreed.
Although DeAndre
gonna-
Hopkins has been finally turning things around,
True.
but it's
I think
gonna be tough.
I think they're going to pressure Deshaun Watson because the Houston O-line can't protect him.
No, not at all.
So they're going to pressure him, and then he's going to throw
To D-Hop, and
to D-Hop, and Stephon Gilmore's going to be there.
yeah, he's either gonna be there to break it up or get a pick.
Yeah.
I mean, he's tied for second in league interceptions, because tied for first is Minka Fitzpatrick and someone else.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He has 4 picks in the year. So, yeah, he's been just shut down corner all year long.
True.
It's just been
But-
insane.
Let's not forget the Pats' only loss was against an electric young QB
That's
Who-
true.
in Lamar Jackson. Deshaun Watson is an electric young QB.
I would say, though, the Ravens, they have a better supporting cast than Deshaun Watson.
Yeah, and that defense from the Ravens is much better than the defense
Yeah.
of the Texans. Texans' defense is kind of banged up.
Mm-hmm. And remember, Deshaun Watson, he plays very good in big moments.
He does. He likes to shine.
He
True.
won all the time at Clemson. It's really translated over to the NFL, not including last year's playoffs.
Yeah, and the
but
Colts
I
smashed
think
him.
the Texans are going to win this game. I think Deshaun is going to be a
Really?
beast. I think
That's surprising.
QT and Darren Fells are going to catch touchdowns.
I think that's gonna be a close game, but the Pats will be the Pats and pull it out of their, pull it out in the last second.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I see the Pats outright destroying the Texans.
Oh, 3 different viewpoints.
Yeah.
All right.
All right, last game.
This game is going to be interesting. Can Kirk
is.
Cousins, is he getting out of the narrative of he can't beat an over 500 team? And
He's actually been good recently.
yeah, he
He's
has.
been very good.
And Thielen is questionable to play this week. He might not be out, so that would really help.
That would help a lot. He's
But-
been out, 3-4 weeks now?
The
He's been
Viking,
out.
And
the,
Vikings have been winning.
but
Yeah,
the,
they've won 6
but-
of their last 7.
they need to win this game. They
Yeah.
They need to win. This
if they want to prove themselves as a real, we can go deep playoffs,
True.
potential Super Bowl dark horse, they need to win this game. And the Seahawks are over here like, hey, we're trying to win our division, and
Yeah.
we're trying to get the highest seed we can in the playoffs. We're also very good. We need to win this game as well. It's
Mhm.
going to be a battle of just both sides of the ball, offense and defense. Both are just going to be going at full force trying to
Yeah.
win this game. I think this game will be very entertaining too.
It's going to be.
I think it will be.
I
We
think
have a
it'll be
lot
like
of good matchups this
Yeah.
week.
both scores will be in the 20s. I think the Seahawks will pull out the win. But I feel like we'll see defensive moments where they just like either both teams are like go crazy in defense, and offensive moments where it'll be like a deep shot from both teams. It's gonna be a good game to watch.
Mm-hmm.
I think if Thielen plays, the Vikings will. If he doesn't, I think they'll still win. But I think they'll have a much better chance with the.
That's true.
Yeah.
I think
So,
either way, the Seahawks are coming out on top. Just because that defense, man, is
true.
The Vikings have been scary. Is it a home game for the Vikings or is it an away game?
It's home.
It's home.
Wait,
The Vikings, I don't think anyone wants to play the Vikings at home. That defense
no, it's not.
is
It's
tenacious.
Oh,
it's at
it's
Seattle.
at
It's
Seattle.
at Seattle?
That's
Okay,
even
Seattle.
worse for the Vikings.
That's worse. Yeah,
That's
The
worse.
Seattle is known for the 11th.
they got the
man.
12th man. Oh
The
yeah,
12th
the 11th
man.
man.
No,
Yeah,
12th man. Sorry, my
12th
bad.
man.
Okay.
Excuse me. They're known for that 12th man, and
Yeah.
they cannot be jumping off sides on offense. If
No.
if the crowd even gets a single false start. And by the way, the last meeting between the Vikings and Seahawks, the Seahawks outright destroyed them. But last year the Vikings weren't the same as they are this year. But even if that crowd can get one false start, the team and the crowd is just going to go insane for the Seahawks. Like that, the team feeds off of that crowd. You can tell, and the crowd feeds off the team. So it's just a back and forth mess for anyone who plays them inside that building.
That really changes my viewpoint. I was thinking the Vikings at home, they're probably the scariest team in the NFL. They have that defense. The O-line plays well at home. Kirk Cousins plays under a dome. I wouldn't – any team I don't think would want to play the Vikings. But, it's at Seattle. They aren't quite the same team as they are on the road, so I'm thinking the Seahawks are going to pull this game.
Yeah, after realizing that it is at Seattle, I think I'm going to switch just because that 12th man. Seattle at home is scary.
Yeah, Seattle at home is just a whole nother animal.
Exactly.
I mean, heck, on Seattle on the road this year has been fantastic as well, if not better than Seattle at home at times. So it's a very interesting matchup.
Yeah. All right. That's all the game picks.